Good evening to all of you. Welcome to today's session, which is on our current situation. And I chose this topic because we are in the middle of a once-in-a-century pandemic. And there are a lot of negative emotions and fear surrounding us. So before I talk, I would like to express my love and gratitude to our beloved masters, Dr. Newton Kundavati and Dr.Lakshmi, and all the members of the QLU Sangha. I welcome all of you. Love and gratitude to all of you. And yeah, so as I said, we are in the midst of a pandemic which happens once in a century. Some people are even calling it apocalyptic. And there is fear. There are a lot of negative emotions floating around. How do we handle this? We are losing a lot of loved ones too. How do we handle? How do we face this and still live in balance? So this is a quote which I really liked about is, life is not about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about how to dance in the rain. There is a huge storm going around, and we need to learn how to cope with it, and not just cope with it, how to play with it, how to dance in it. And one of the most common energy or emotions which is prevalent all around is fear. So let's look into the mechanism of all the fear and negative emotions, what it is really doing. Fear is manifested in many negative forms. It could be anxiety, it could be tension, it could be stress, it could be worry. There could be fear of insecurity, fear of failure, fear of illness, fear of losing wealth and prestige, fear of losing love of our loved ones, fear of losing our friendships with loved ones. So many different kinds of fears. But the basic fear is actually the fear of death. I may not be. That's the primary fear. And all these other fears are nothing but offshoots of this very primary fear. Fear, let's go a little more into it, is basically caused by identification to form. The form which is very visible to all of us is body and mind. This is a form. So when we are very attached, very identified to our body and mind, attached to in such a manner that we cling to it, there is fear. There is fear that, oh, this body might go. what is happening that can happen. And fear arises from the ego. We'll discuss what ego is. Ego is basically identification to form. And fear always lives in the past or future, never in the present, never in the here and now. Either something happened in the past that has scared me, I lost somebody, I fell sick, I lost my job, or tomorrow what's going to happen? Will I will I get affected by this pandemic? Will I survive the pandemic? That's the future. Right now, there is no problem. If we learn to live in the here and now, fear vanishes. Also, fear arises more from the thoughts of the situation rather than the situation itself. I'll give you an example. I'm very fond of hiking in the Himalayas. So I'd been to this beautiful place called Gangotri, and I wanted to go to a place called Gomukh, which is the source of the Ganges, and that was another about 15 kilometers away. And the night I was staying in a huge dormitory all alone, and outside there was this huge waterfalls making a huge noise. And I was thinking, oh, I've come alone, I'm going to go alone, how is it going to be? Is it going to be safe, and this and that? And then thinking like that, I fell asleep. There was some fear. Early morning, I got up. It was a bright sunny day, it was a beautiful day, and I started walking, hiking. And then it was a beautiful day. It was tough, it was nice, but then I found it was very beautiful. At the end of the day, I wondered, oh, why was I so afraid? You see, when I was in the situation here and now, there was no fear. You are there at that moment. Fear is not there. Fear is always there, in the past or in the future. Other than fear, all the other negative states of the mind originates from the ego. They are our desires, our anger, our greed, our attachments, our jealousies, our conflict. Ego comprises of all this. And ego, as I said, is identification to form. It could be a physical form, like I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I'm a man. Or it could be mental. It could be emotional. I'm angry. He's an angry person. It could be based on your upbringing. He comes from a Hindu family. He comes from a Muslim family. Or has a Christian background or conditioning. He comes from the city or roles. He is the CEO of a company. He is a father, a mother, a son. So these are roles. And this is a kind of a form. So when the mind is identified to this role, to this conditioning, that is the ego. And the ego is always connected to the past because that's where it gets its identity from, or the future because that's where the dreams and expectations are. And because the ego is identified to all kinds of forms, the ego is judgmental, and the ego is a barrier to presence. You can just see, ego means selective seeing and listening, what you want to see or hear. You choose not to see or hear what you want to see or hear. You ignore the totality, the reality, the truth. And it's only the truth that can liberate you. But ego doesn't want to face the truth. And what does the media do? This is the impact of the media, the general media as a genre, because there are good journalism too. They report facts, they report the truth, a lot of good things going on too. But the general media thrives and survives on feeding us with negativity. Tomorrow this is going to happen. This is what is happening. It's collapsing. You know, we are going from bad to worse to a point of no return. So only presence and awareness helps to protect us from absorbing all this crap. When we are present, when we are aware, it acts as a filter to negativity. We can see the fact, but we need not take in all the negativity. So in this situation, how do we live in balance? So I chose to take a leaf from Lord Buddha's Eightfold Path. Lord Buddha, in search of truth, left the palace. He was a prince, and he left his wife and his newborn son in search of truth. And after years of hunting and searching and seeking, he found out 4 keys, 4 truths. The first one was, there is suffering in life. There is a reason for that suffering. Suffering can be stopped, and suffering can be transcended by Buddha's Eightfold Path. The first of the steps in the Eightfold Path is to do with perspective, is to see. And how to see? Seeing or looking in the right perspective, without judgment, without conditioning, without prejudice, just seeing. And this we can do in all walks of life. When we do that, the picture, we see the full picture. Otherwise, how do we see? We see with our conditioning. We see with our prejudices, and the full picture never comes to us. The second step is to do with awareness or awakening. To be aware of our own ego, to be aware of our own psychic impressions, which causes us not to see the full picture, not to see the picture as it is. Because we bring in our ego in everything we do, in everything we see. The next key to living in balance would be right acceptance. Acceptance is to acknowledge whatever is happening in front of you. Acknowledge the facts, accept what is happening. And when you can do that without judgment, totally, unconditionally, only then you will be able to see the full picture. Otherwise, you would be bringing your ego in, you would be bringing your conditioning in, you would be bringing all the psychic impressions, that has made you, and you will miss the full picture. There are a few more steps, but I felt one of the most important steps in the Eightfold Path is meditation. Meditation is being in the here and now and being connected to our deeper self. Being connected to that spaciousness of who we are. When we go in meditation, we touch upon our pure space, where there is no one, there is no thought, there is no emotion, just pure empty space, which Lord Buddha calls shunyata. But this is not empty. It's actually vibrant and alive. And once we are able to go in deeper and deeper meditation, we bring that quality of spaciousness into every facet of our lives. The other keys to living in balance is living in presence, the here and now. Most of the time, we are either living in the past or in the future. There are so many thoughts running around, so many energies of the outside world distracting us. Thinking there, what's going to happen, it happened then, and we miss this moment. And life is happening in this moment of here and now. So when our mind is in the past or in the future, we miss presence. We are absent to life, which is taking place right here and now. So the more we are present, the more we are present to life, the more we confront life, and the more we would be able to live in balance. The next key to living in balance is living in gratitude. Instead of complaint, most of us, if you notice, we are always complaining. This is there, this is not there, that is not there, what is going to happen? Meditativeness will bring that element of gratitude in us. That whatever is, and we can be grateful for that. Like we are alive. This life is a gift. Every breath is a gift. So, gratitude, replacing complaint with gratitude, changes our perspective. And lastly, we need to appreciate the mystery and beauty of death. What is death? Because this death, we lose a loved one, we feel sad, suddenly we feel empty, life comes crumbling down. But there is a beauty of that in death. All of us, whoever are born, will have to die. So, this is something which cannot be avoided. Death, there is a beauty to death. Let's just see that. The more you live in the present moment, the more the fear of death disappears. The more you live in the present moment, fear disappears. And when fear disappears, the fear of death or the influence of other fears also come down. This is another beautiful quote by Eckhart Tolle. He says, death is a stripping away of all that is not you. The secret of life is to die before you die and find that there is no death. What he's really referring to you here is the death of the ego. If you see, we have defined ego as identification to form. Different kinds of form. The form of the body, the form of the mind, the form of emotions, the form of all our psychic impressions, the form of our roles, societal roles, family roles, professional roles. They are roles, they are forms. And we cling, we identify to that. We always think that the sum total of all that is me. Now, the truth is, behind all this form, there is a formless. So in deep meditation, when you close your eyes and when you see and experience the spaciousness in you, in front of you, you touch upon that spaciousness of you. There is no ego, there is no form. The ego dies. There is the emptiness. So many people also experience fear in deep meditation. It's actually a beautiful moment because you touch upon that spaciousness, that emptiness. And because we are so used to being identified to the form, that formless scares us. But as we enter into that formless, or just feel that formless, experience that formless, we realize that the ego is just a shadow. That realization is one of the major realization, major step to self-realization. And that's what our sages say, die before you die. Be aware of your ego. And when you are aware, the ego falls. There is no need to drop it. It goes on its own. So that's the real death. And the basic fear, the fear of death, is I may not be. When a normal person, he feels that I may not be, he always feels that, oh, what will happen to all this form on which I invested? This form, the body, this mind, these emotions, all the roles that I play. We still need to play our roles. We still need to maintain our health. We still have to think. We still have to plan. But that is not me. The real me is the spaciousness within me. So if we can die that death, if we can understand the ego and let go of the ego, we die before we die. It's a very powerful quote. And that's exactly the power of meditation. Because you can read about meditation, you can do a thesis on meditation, but unless you sit, unless you look into that spaciousness, unless you experience that spaciousness, you will not realize what death is. I have another beautiful quote on death. Osho says, sleep is the death between 2 days, and death is a sleep between 2 lives. Death is not against life. It does not end life. It only brings life to a beautiful peak. Life continues even after death. It was there before death. It's going to continue after death. Life is not confined to that small space that exists between birth and death. On the contrary, births and deaths are small episodes in the eternity of life. It's an amazing quote, and let it sink into you that we have come here before, and when we go, it's a body that's going to go. We're going to come back again. And all these experiences are deep meditative experiences. It is these deep meditative experiences that takes us to truth. And it is only truth that liberates us from the illusion and delusion that we are the mind and the body, we are the ego, we are something far, far more infinite. Our sages have said, this entire universe is constantly evolving, and evolving in the direction of Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. Satyam is truth, Shivam is auspiciousness, and Sundaram is beautiful. Presence and awareness gives you the strength to face your suffering. Suffering will be there in life. But when you are present, when you are aware, you get that inner strength to face your suffering and come out of karma. All of us would have accumulated karma. So if we are in a situation which we don't want because of our karma, and karma is very impartial. That's why, karma is there as a teacher. So when you are present, when you are aware, you have the strength to face your suffering, face your karma, and the realization that suffering was your teacher. And this will make you grateful. Gratitude, I got this beautiful quote from Vikarabad. He says, gratitude for the present moment and fullness of life now is true prosperity. So when we start living life in the here and now, one moment leads to another moment, and we continue to be present, then life continues to be the celebration that it is meant to be. And how do we make this life a celebration? These are some of the steps. Make the present moment the focal point of your attention. Let us be here and now, whatever happens. Practice presence in ordinary day-to-day activities. Like you are cooking, be there. You are talking to a friend, be with him, be with her, listen. That's the best gift you can give to somebody who's talking to you. Like right now, I'm speaking, you're listening, you can be here and now. Meditation, there are many forms of meditation. One of the most beautiful forms of meditation is the breath awareness, which is Vipassana. That is nothing but being watchful. Watchful of your body, watchful of your thoughts, watchful of your emotions, watchful of your breath, and being watchful of you, being the watchful awareness that you are. Also, from time to time, we can feel ourselves, inner body awareness. That's what I mean, inner body awareness. You can ask, you can feel, because we live in the head. All our fears, all the negative states of the mind comes basically from the mind. And the mind generates these negative states. When we are too much in the mind, we'll be in the grip of that. As we come down to the heart, we feel. Feeling takes us more towards our being. The three states, the mind, the heart, and the being. Mind is full of thoughts. The heart is full of feelings. Just a step deeper is the being. As you feel, you can feel yourself too. And you can ask yourself, am I present? Be watchful of all our emotional triggers. There is a news, it's giving bad news, it's triggering a negative emotion. Be watchful. Be watchful what kind of an emotion triggers you. There's no need to suppress. There's no need to repress. You have to face what's going on. You have to be watchful. And all situations in life, all life's situation challenges can be used to practice presence. So, this is about, today's topic. We are in a challenging time. And in some ways, we are responsible for this. In some way, we are maybe created it, not intentionally, but unconsciously. So this whole journey, I chose Buddha's Eightfold Path because the entire Eightfold Path of Buddha's journey is a journey from unconsciousness to consciousness. And the more conscious we are, the more responsible we will be to respond to whatever challenges that come our way. Let's take this whole pandemic. Normally, it would take 5 years or 10 years for vaccines to be developed. But look at the commitment of so many scientists, so many health workers, so many government leaders who have made this happen. So people worked on that. They worked on that by acknowledging the problem, by accepting the dangers of the situation, and consciously they worked, committed to themselves, and came up with a solution. I would say a vaccine within a year is incredible, just incredible. But look, So many people are still complaining. They're saying we have not got vaccine, there should be more vaccine, blah, 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 blah. There is no dearth of complaints. Absolutely no dearth of complaints. We must be grateful to all these people who have, with their efforts, made this possible. And there are so many masters. Now, Buddha gave this steps, Eightfold Path, from 2,500 years back. But it is still valid. Today, every step is still valid. So, if there are any questions, maybe I could before we go into the meditation part. Because the other thing which I would like to mention is, this is a journey. This is not a journey just from birth to death. It is actually a journey from unconscious to consciousness. From ignorance to knowledge. And from complaints to gratitude. From darkness to light. And it depends on us. We are always looking on the outside world for our happiness, for our joy, for our bliss. And even though Buddha talks of the outside world, he teaches us methods how we should see, how we should conduct ourselves in relationships, in choosing professions, in relationships, a lot of outside world. But the true bliss is within ourselves. And the means for that is meditation. So as we meditate, we will know that yes, we are much more than a body. We are much more than a mind. We are infinite. We are just not the clouds in the sky. We are the sky itself. And once we understand that, once we realize that, every act in our life can become meditative. I loved what Dr.Lakshmi said last week, the journey of acceptance. I really loved that. The last comment she made was, there is a lot of pain and suffering, which Buddha said, and Dr. Lakshmi said it very beautifully. She said, if you focus on the pain, there is going to be suffering. But if you focus on the lessons, there will be growth. We have suffered a lot. Suffering is not going to, pain is not going to end, but we can end the suffering. People will fall sick. Some of our near and dear ones will go. We will also go someday. But before that happens, let us look in. As we look in, the fear, the negativities, slowly comes down. And ultimately, what we will discover is we are made up of just three things, not things, three qualities. which is love, which is joy, which is awareness. So I see that, namaste to all of you. I'm not able to, to all of you who have come here. Very nice of you to spend time, with us. And we are also coming up from tomorrow. There is a beautiful 40-day meditation camp, which we are going to have. I'll just tell you the time, which is going to be having around 8 o'clock. Just give me a minute. Yeah, this is going to be a 40-day meditation camp from 17th May, which is tomorrow, to 21st June for 1 hour, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And this is the group meditation, and it is for energizing, harmonizing, and healing this planet Earth. And I would request all of you to join, ask your friends to join, because this is a wonderful opportunity. And this would be facilitated by all our beautiful masters, beautiful trainers of QLU, who have lots of experience. And together, we can heal the world. So thank you very much for listening. And I don't see any questions, which is fine. That's fine. So, because questions always come from the mind. And yeah, having questions is always good. As we go into meditation, questions dissolve. Let's bring more heart in our lives. Jesus always says, somebody asked Jesus, who will enter the kingdom of heaven? So he said, only a child can enter the kingdom of heaven. What he really meant was, a child is full of love, is full of play, is full of joy. And the child lives in the present moment. The child is spontaneous. Everything is wonderful for the child. And he says, you must have that quality to enter the kingdom of heaven, which means the dimension of spaciousness. Now we are also that child. There is that child in us that wants that joy. But our ego, our mind comes in the way. So let's go in, meditate, and enter that kingdom of heaven. Today we will do that, and we are going to do that the next 40 days. And thank you once again. Thank you for coming. And we will start. I will ask my friend Harika to play a little music in the background. Meanwhile, all of you can sit in a very comfortable position and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And as you breathe in, feel yourself getting relaxed. Simple, deep breathing. With every breath, feel you're drawing in healing energy from the cosmos. And with every energy you let go, feel you're letting go all the tension, all the anxiety, and all the stress. full deep breathing. Feel yourself getting relaxed. With every breath, feel yourself getting more and more relaxed. Breathe in as deeply as you can and let go of the breath as slowly as you can. With every breath, your relaxation is going deeper and deeper. Feel the relaxation. Enjoy the relaxation. Focus your attention on the top of your head and feel the top of the head getting relaxed. Allow this relaxation to flow down your forehead, flow down your eyebrows, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, your ears, your lips, your chin, your jaws. And as you breathe in and breathe out, feel the top of the head and your entire face fully relaxed. Allow this relaxation to flow down your neck and both your arms. Allow this relaxation to flow down your back, your upper back, your middle back, your lower back, and your buttocks. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel your entire back fully relaxed. Allow this relaxation to flow down your chest, your heart, your stomach, and your abdomen. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel the entire front part of your body nicely relaxed. Enjoy the relaxation. Be with the relaxation. Allow this relaxation to flow down both your legs. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel that your left and right legs are nicely relaxed. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel the entire body, right from the top of the head to the tips of your toes, completely relaxed. Feel the relaxation. Enjoy the relaxation. Be with the relaxation. As I count 3 to 1, this relaxation is going to go deeper and deeper and deeper. 3, relaxation is deep. 2, the relaxation has gone very deep. 1, Relaxation is very, very deep. In this very deep state of relaxation, this very deep state of stillness and silence, continue with closed eyes and look into the front of your forehead. This is your inner sky. This is your pure, beautiful space. Look into the space and watch for any thoughts. If thoughts are there, just watch them. Don't get entangled. Watch your emotions. You're feeling peaceful and calm. Be with an emotion. Just watch your emotions. Keep looking at this beautiful empty space. This is your inner sky. This is you. Just keep watching. Watch your normal breathing. Breath going in, the small gap, the breath going out, the small gap before breath comes in. Just watch your normal breathing. If it is shallow, it is fine. If it is deep, it is fine. Follow your breath. Just be the watchful awareness. Keep watching your beautiful inner sky. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just watch your breath come and go. You are watching your breath. You're watching your inner sky. Just be the watchful awareness that you are. Continue to watch your normal, natural breathing. Meditation is being in the here and now. Meditation is being in the stillness, being in the silence, being in the spaciousness of you. Few more moments. And as I count 1 to 3, you will come back to the present moment, fully refreshed, fully recharged, fully re-energized, with all the love, all the joy, and all the awareness that you are. 1, you're coming back to the present moment, to your room, to your chair. 2, you can feel yourself in your present surroundings, your body, touching the chair, in the comfort of your room. 3, whenever you are ready, before opening your eyes, gently place your palms on your eyes and very slowly come back to the present moment. So thank you very much for your time and participation. We will look forward to all of you joining our free 40-day meditation camp, a meditation program for 1 hour. This is a great opportunity to heal yourself and help us heal the world. Once again, I express my love and gratitude to our beloved modern day masters, Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi, and all the beautiful members of our QLU Sangha, and all of you. If there are any questions or any sharing, we still have a few minutes. I'm getting thank you notes. Thank you very much. Velanki Chandrasekhar, thank you. So fine then. Thanks to all of you once again. Love and gratitude, and God bless. Good day.